Hello guys. Today with a nice setup, with a nice camera, because I want to talk about something a bit different. I usually just use this channel to share my insights after my meditations, after everything that I do on my spiritual path of my inner growth. But this time I just wanted to share something with you since last time I shared about books and teachers, spiritual teachers that I enjoy and that I kind of follow. But I never just, look up to one person. I always take everything and then make my own thing, mostly from my own inner experience. This is what I want to do. But I wanted to share something about Sadhguru. Why Sadhguru? Because he's one of the main spiritual teachers right now, and I think in terms of practices, in terms of sadhana, he's the one that I've been following his practices the most. So with his foundation, Isha Foundation, they make all sorts of very ancient yoga practices, and I've also been following a few events of him, and I've been doing his practices for years, starting with Isha Kriya. In the beginning, I did Isha Kriya, which is his main simple first step kind of meditation you can find for free online on YouTube. And it made me change so much. It gave me such a boost of my inner experience that I wanted to experience more. That's why I went focusing more during these past years on Sadhguru more than others, but it doesn't mean that I just looked at him, etc. As I told you before, I follow many people and also mostly myself and my inner insights. But in terms of a person, I really think he is very smart. I really think he can, with the Isha Foundation, he markets himself very well. He knows exactly how to speak, to be spiritual, but also not be too spiritual that scientists and the Western world could be afraid of that. Why? This is the truth, because many people here in the West, I live in Europe, in Italy, we are, afraid of terms like guru, of terms like spiritual, of terms like teachings. Why? Because we all want to do things by ourselves. I think it's also because of how religion worked for us in the past. Religion basically for us wasn't a spiritual path that we did take. It was mostly politics. It was mostly kind of a trap that we all fell into. Of course there are good religions, but mainly what happened with religions are bad things here in Europe. They all started with wars and bad things. The spiritual side even of religions, for example in Christianity, there is also the spiritual side, which is pretty nice. It also can help you a lot, but religion in general is what most of the people associate with the terms spirituality. So this is the problem. So there are some people that made it possible through social media to express themselves as spiritual teachers, but not in a way that Westerners are afraid of listening to, like Eckhart Tolle, like Wim Hof, like Sadhguru. Why? Because they also were speaking very logically and very much in a way that is scientifically kind of proven, and also in terms of experience. He always says the one thing that made me fall in love in the beginning with the way he speaks and teaches, it's that, oh wow, he's 60 plus years old. He does so many things and he has a lot of energy, you can see it, and he kind of look, as he says, stoned all the time, so blissed. So I want to be like him, and that's basically what made me go for the Isha practices. And I started with Isha Kriya for 90 days. I did the whole mandala, which is a period of doing the practice every single day, and it was so good for me that I wanted to try his other things. So I learned a couple of Hatha yoga exercises with a teacher, which is basically Angamardana and also Bhuta Shuddhi. the elements, the purification of the elements. Anga Mardana is a very intense way for strengthening your system. And I did them for a bit, and now I still do them, not regularly every single day, but I still do them because I also have other practices that I want to do that are not Isha. But Hatha Yoga is very nice, and I think I'm going to, it's good to create stability for a better growth in the future, for a better inner experience in terms of mind and emotions and energies. It's a good foundation. But what I wanted to try is also his main course, which is the Inner Engineering. Inner Engineering, now they also made it much better, but when I did it in the past, it was divided into two categories: the the theory part and then the practice part, the conclusion and the main part. And I actually ended up doing it twice for some reasons. And now that they made a new one, which is all in just one single package, I also did it again after years because I wanted to experience it another time with the new version. And also it was with a better deal if you already did the whole thing. So I did it 3 times. And how was my experience? My experience was very good. I enjoyed learning it a lot, and the practice that they teach you is very nice. Over time, after a while, in the beginning you make like kind of an initiation into it, so you cannot be taught to that practice. You need to be initiated into that practice by Sadhguru himself. But the problem is that during the initiation you have a very big experience. I had a very big experience. And then during the mandala that you need to do in order to get this seed inside of you sprout, I had for a few times some experiences deeper and deeper. And then I did it every single day for some time. Then I went, not every single day, but a few days, but I never stopped it because I also had other practices. Now it's been a year almost that I do it every single day without stop. And there are some times that it's more profound, sometimes that it's just, kind of taking a shower in the morning, so it's refreshing. Some days you just want to end it, and I know it's not good because you need to take those 30 minutes for yourself, but sometimes you are in a rush because you have many things to do or because you are late for your flight, and so you need to do it. But it's a way of changing your routine. I always do it. But the practice is good by himself. I don't think it's the best practice ever, but sometimes you need to stick to one practice. Even just Isha Kriya was very good for me. Even just Isha Kriya, I think, was maybe in terms of experience after 90 days, it was pretty intense, and I really recommend it to try it if you want to do something before doing the inner engineering, if you want to try inner engineering. But the main thing that is the main topic of the video that I want to share with you is about the theory part. The theory part, in my opinion, is the best part because you do it and you don't actually understand exactly what it means. And I think I've watched every single video of Sadhguru, not just because I'm a fan, I also went to some of live events, even with the Save Soil movement. So it's not because, oh wow, I just crawled to his feet. No, I really respect him as a guru, as a spiritual teacher. The person is another thing. But what I actually enjoy the way he speaks and the way he expresses himself. And sometimes they say, when you are, the truth within you, but when a guru or someone speaks it to you, you kind of recognize it. This happens all the time to me with Sadhguru the most, because sometimes he really makes some points, some point of views that I was like, oh wow, yes, I never actually understood it. Maybe from this existential point of view that he has, I don't know, but every time that I struggle in my life or something, if a video of him comes up, I look forward to it, and it actually makes me understand things better. So I watched pretty much everything, also the Sadhguru exclusive, which is a kind of platform that he has for exclusive videos that talks about things that he doesn't talk about on social media. Many different things, some darshans or some other events that he does. But I also went to the UNESCO, invited by Isha Foundation for the yoga day. But the one thing is, every time that I learn something new from other teachers, from my experience, from books, from therapy, from many different things, in the end, it's something that I've already had been taught in some ways in the inner engineering program. In the end, basically, when you do the inner engineering, I don't want to spoil you anything, and I am actually not allowed to do it. But they give you these 5 kind of teachings that you don't understand in the beginning, but the more you have these things in the back of your mind, and when you experience them in your life, you actually now connected with your experience, and so you take your own conclusions, and after a while, conclusions don't even matter that much. But it makes you live your life in fast forward kind of, so you experience more and more and more, and you suffer more in the beginning, but you gain this kind of wisdom. And every time that I learn something, oh yes, I learned this thing, and it's one of those 5 teachings in the end, if you look from another point of view. And so you have this kind of 5 teachings that you always repeat to yourself, also in your sadhana, also in your things that you do every single day. And in the end, I'm like, okay, but let's take a very short thing about these new teachings that I have, these new thing that I learned, this new thing that I experienced. And after a while, I said, you know what? But it's something that I already do it in this crash course of inner engineering that I do every single day. So that's it. This video is not sponsored. This video is not a way of telling you Sadhguru is the best, you should do his course. No, whatsoever. Do whatever you prefer. Everyone has his own different teacher. To me, Sadhguru speaks in a different way that I can understand, that I can respect. Mostly also because me as a foreigner also, I was very skeptical and I wasn't open to gurus. But I noticed after listening to Sadhguru, I tried, you know what? It seems logical. Let's open myself and see what he has to say. And opening and letting go to somebody is something that we Western really are afraid to do, opening our feminine side. But once you do it, you become like a devotee. You become, the feminine side comes, and once it's not the person. The guru behind the person is like a torch, and it makes you see things in a clearer way. It's almost like a light for you. And so it's not even that person, Sadhguru, but it's what the things that he says, or even things beyond the words. There are of course other teachers that I enjoy, but this thing about us foreigners, that we want all the control. We want to do everything by our own, and thinking that we can understand everything about life just on our own. It's so stupid and egocentric. So I said it's almost like wanting to become an Olympic medalist without having a coach in that thing. So of course you have your inner experience, but somebody can show you the way. And so I opened myself to listen to these things. It made sense, and so I tried, and it's something you make experience of. So I'm not telling you this is the best course, everything. There are some other people that I follow. I enjoy them. But at the same time, it's just a quick thing that I wanted to share, because every time that I realize a new thing, in the end, it's something that it's in a way contained in what I've already learned in the inner engineering. So every time I'm amazed of, oh wow, it didn't make sense in the beginning, but now I understand why it was so deep and why Sadhguru made this huge change in the world. Of course, because of his marketing, he knows how to speak. He's been doing it for years and years and years. But at the same time, he actually put a lot of effort into these teachings, and you can see it because it summarizes almost everything that you need to know. That's it. So let me know what you think. If you've already done the course, maybe you understand what I mean, or maybe you don't agree. Let me know what is just, a way of sharing some experiences with you. Maybe next time I'll talk about a different person. Let me know what you think. See you next videos.